Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a challenge that, well, I know resonates with so many of you learning English. It's that desire, to speak confidently, get that natural fluency. But finding a speaking partner, that can be tough. It's a really common frustration, isn't it? Feeling like you have the words, maybe the grammar, but just no one to practice with. So our mission today is to give you a toolkit, a really powerful one. We're going beyond just, basic tips. We're diving into effective, practical ways you can practice conversational English, even if you're doing it solo. Think of this as maybe a shortcut, a way to build that speaking muscle starting right now, turning those alone moments into real progress.
Absolutely. That lack of a speaking partner is probably one of the biggest hurdles people mention. And it's true, conversation practice is key for confidence, for fluency, but many learners feel stuck. They think, I need another person. But that's actually a bit of a misconception we want to break down today. We're going to look at some, tangible solutions, things you could actually do. It's not just what you practice, but really how you practice that matters.
Okay. All right, let's unpack strategy number one. Now, this one might sound a little, quirky, maybe a bit weird at first, but talking to yourself out loud, it's actually an incredibly powerful tool. Underestimated, I'd say. You might feel a bit self-conscious initially, sure, but the cognitive stuff happening here, it's pretty profound, and you can start immediately.
What's really fascinating about this is it's not just about, making sounds or saying words. When you narrate what you're doing or thinking out loud, you're actively training your brain to think in English. You're basically building these direct neural pathways, like a bridge,
Yeah.
connecting your thoughts straight to English phrases. It helps bypass that translation step from your native language, which, often slows people down in real conversation. It strengthens your sort of inner voice in English by making it external, helps lock it in.
That idea of a direct mental bridge,
Yeah.
that really clicks. It makes so much sense when you put it like that. And just to make this super concrete for you listening, imagine something really simple every day, like making your morning tea or coffee. Instead of just thinking coffee, actually say the steps out loud in English. Like, I am grinding the beans. Okay, I am pouring the hot water now. The coffee smells good. I admit, when I first tried things like this, I felt a bit like I was rehearsing for something. But that feeling fades pretty quickly. See how those little ordinary moments suddenly become chances for real English practice?
Precisely. And the beauty of it is it's always available, right? Costs nothing. No special gear, no scheduling. You can narrate your commute, describe the street outside your window, comment on the groceries as you put them away, anything. This kind of consistent self-talk really strengthens your speaking muscles and your ability to monitor yourself. You're constantly tuning your brain to English, turning that idle chatter into something productive.
Okay, so articulating your world is step one, building that foundation. But then, how do you refine the sound? How do you make your English sound, more natural, the rhythm, the flow? That brings us nicely to our second strategy, turning passive listening into active practice. We call it the echo chamber.
Right, and this approach is absolutely crucial. It goes beyond just pronouncing single words correctly. It helps you hone your prosody. That's the music of English, the rhythm, the stress patterns, the intonation. When you actively listen and then immediately try to repeat or echo what you hear, you're not just copying. You're actually recalibrating how your brain processes the sounds of English. It deepens your sense of where native speakers put emphasis, how their voice goes up and down, how words kind of blend together. This active repetition, it's been shown to really speed up improvements in your speaking and your listening comprehension too. You start to build this internal library of natural speech patterns.
That's a great point, helping listening too. So it's not just mimicry, it's about really internalizing the melody of English. So, okay, how do you do this? Find short audio or video clips, like really short. Think YouTube Shorts, maybe a phrase from a podcast you like. Hi, folks.
Yeah.
Or even just one line from a movie. Keep it brief. So if you hear someone say, maybe it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Just pause it. And then say it yourself. Out loud. Try to match their delivery. The tone, the speed, that little upward flick on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like having a mini vocal coach right there.
Exactly. And the impact is, quite significant. You're engaging your mouth, your ears, your memory, your brain's processing all at once. Try to make this a specific habit, maybe 5-10 minutes a day. Focus, listening, and repeating. It can dramatically improve your spoken English over time. You're consciously building that muscle memory for sounds and rhythms, turning entertainment, basically, into really efficient practice.
Okay, but talking to yourself, echoing sounds, that's great for production. But real conversation is a two-way street, isn't it? It's that back and forth. the give and take. How do we practice that structure when we're on our own?
Well, this leads us right into strategy number 3, the mini dialogue workshop.
Yeah, that's a really important question. How do you get comfortable with that dynamic exchange, that quick response without a live partner? And the answer is, well, small, repeatable dialogues. Think of them like building blocks. They let you practice common conversational turns, standard responses in a safe space. You're essentially creating these conversational schemas in your mind, sort of ready-made templates for common chats. This really lowers the cognitive load, the thinking effort when you are in a real conversation, because part of it feels familiar, practice. You're basically rehearsing for reality.
Love that rehearsing for reality. And guess what? We're going to do one right now
Mm.
together. So for everyone listening, we have a super short dialogue. I'll be person A.
And I'll be person B. Right. And your job, listener, is to listen and then repeat after me, person A. That's your cue to speak out loud. Ready? Let's try it. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine too. What are you doing today?
I am learning English with a podcast.
Okay. See? Simple, everyday stuff you'll hear all the time. Now, the real power here, listeners, is in repetition. Practice that little exchange a few times. Don't feel weird about repeating it. Say it again and again until it feels smooth, natural. And here's a great tip. Change that last line. Make it true for you. Instead of I'm learning English, maybe it's I am cooking dinner, or I am going to work, or even I am planning my weekend. Customize it.
Yes, that customization is absolutely key. It makes the practice directly relevant to your life. You're not just, memorizing lines from a script. You're applying the structure to your own situation. That really strengthens the connections in your brain and makes the language feel like your own. It shifts from just abstract practice to something genuinely functional. Build confidence for those common social moments.
Okay, so these strategies are fantastic for building speaking skills, but how do you know if you're actually improving? How do you get that objective view? Hear yourself the way others might, and, spot areas to work on, but also celebrate progress. This brings us to our fourth and final strategy today, the self-improvement mirror, which is basically recording yourself speaking.
Recording yourself is honestly invaluable. It gives you unbiased feedback, pure data, if you like. When you listen back, you get this objective perspective on, well, everything, your pronunciation, the rhythm, your pace, even those little filler words like or ah, or maybe vocal habits you weren't even aware of. It lets you pinpoint specific sounds or phrases that need work. And crucially, it lets you actually hear your progress over time. You might think you sound a certain way, but the recording gives you the reality. It's concrete info for targeted improvement, like having an impartial coach always available.
Exactly, your own personal diagnostic tool right on your phone. So grab your phone, have a voice recorder built in, and try recording yourself doing one of the things we've talked about. Maybe narrate your breakfast routine, echo a sentence from this deep dive, practice that mini dialogue we just did. Then, and this is important, listen back. Actively listen. Don't just hear the sound of your voice. Listen for the clarity, the rhythm, any hesitations, and note down maybe one or two things you want to refine. You'll probably be surprised, maybe even impressed by what you notice. And you can make targeted improvements really quickly that way.
So to kind of bring all these strategies together, I think the most crucial piece of advice overarching all of this is embrace mistakes, please. Don't see them as failures. They're just data points. They show you where you need to focus. They're proof you're learning, pushing yourself. Speak slowly if you need to. Aim for clarity always. And honestly, try to enjoy the process. Consistency is everything. Even small amounts of practice done regularly using these solo methods will lead to real, tangible progress, and that builds real confidence.
That's such a vital reminder. It really is a journey, and every little step counts, especially these solo ones. They build momentum. So as you start to embrace these habits, talking to yourself, echoing speakers, doing mini dialogues, listening back to your recordings, just think. What new real-world English conversation do you suddenly feel a little more ready to start? Maybe it's ordering that coffee with confidence, asking someone for directions, jumping into an online chat. What's the first thing you'll say? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into powering up your solo English practice. Keep practicing, keep growing, and keep surprising yourself.